mode.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here this morning, this beautiful Tuesday. Thank you for being with us today. Definitely look forward to an exciting short today. I'll tell you in advance, it'll be a short and brief webinar. I know that Amalia will talk a little bit in the next 45 minutes as we go through the slides through our webinar, but we will have a guest speaker next week, and we're also lining up another guest speaker which we're equally excited for November. So, we kind of wanted to mix things up. Have a mix of just ALM. I guess a host as well as a guest speaker. So we're looking forward to that. Today's webinar is going to be very short and simple and sweet. Just to let you know, a couple of things happening in the industry, a couple of reports, a couple of updates. We came across an interesting and very interesting survey that was conducted with a lot of valuable knowledge, and I will share some of the key points there. And obviously, you can go out there and look at it for yourself and take the time. But definitely, just prepping up for next week. So I have with me Amalia, who's going to be also joining us. And Amalia, are you there?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Yes, no, I'm here. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. As a matter of
I
fact,
just want to say welcome.
yeah,
Perfect.
sorry, we forgot to do a sound check. So if you could just let us know.
That's great. Welcome, everybody.
If you can let us know through. Oh, there we go. We're getting some. Okay, excellent. Thank you, thank you, Daniel. So I hope that today's webinar, although short, it will have some great, valuable information. A couple of things happening in the industry today, so we'll follow our similar agenda. So to begin, I'll start off, and this is something that we kind of been continuing to follow. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. We kind of been continuing to follow this, and it's in regards to the ComScore explicit core search share reports. And I know that Amalia talked a little bit about it last month in reporting on the August ones, and there was an interesting component where we've seen pretty much Yahoo and Microsoft starting to take a chip away a little bit, not that much, of Google's dominance when it comes to desktop search share report, right? So we have today, I guess September's. This actually was released, I believe, early last week. And what I have here is the search report for Google's search engine rankings for the US market, right? And based on this, there's a couple of things that we can take away from it. Interesting observations. For number one, you can see right now that a year ago, Google was at 67.3 and Yahoo was at 10%. And today, Yahoo is at 12.6% of total search share in the US, however, for desktop only. Okay, so this report is focusing on the desktop, and as we know, Google was very dominant at one point. When they were at way above 64% before, and now they're just below 64%. So they've seen a bit of an increase over month between August and September. But what I wanted to share was the fact that we're starting to see Yahoo kind of move up, and it could be because of the different efforts that they're putting together as an organization, different strategic partnerships, their partnership with Microsoft, their or Bing, I guess. So there's a little bit of movement kind of happening here, and they did chip away a little bit at Google's fully dominance. However, at the end of the day, still 63.9% being dominated by Google in the US for desktop only. So this is the search share report for desktop only, and in August, I think it probably hit its highest peak of with Yahoo, where Yahoo was at 12.7%, having been there about a year ago at 10% of the share report. So that's what I wanted to share with you as number one. So a little bit of chipping away overall year over year in the desktop only. However, If we move forward to the next slide that I will share with you, we can start seeing a little bit of other things that are happening in the industry. When we look at the desktop search query volume, Google saw a year-over-year increase of 1% to 11.4 billion searches. Okay, so if anybody ever asks you, how many searches are happening, let's say on a monthly basis on any of the given search engines, you can say that that total explicit number for desktop, right? For desktop, because that's what we're talking about, desktop, you're looking at about 17.8 billion or 17.5, whatever number you want to do. But overall, there's 5+ billion searches happening on desktops in the US alone. So that's a huge number. Out of those 17 billion searches, 11.4 are coming from Google, right? On the desktop. Okay, so I just want to kind of focus on the desktop, and I'll get to the next part, which is even a little bit more interesting, and it's like wow, just to drop, your my jaw dropped a little bit. So obviously, Microsoft has 3.6 billion, Yahoo 2.2. So combined together, they only reach about probably about 6 billion searches, right? Approximately, not even close to 6 billion searches, right? So it's massive, right? And obviously, Google continues to dominate. Bing saw a 2% annual increase, and Yahoo was flat. This is what they're telling us year over year. However, the news story, and obviously they still have to come out with these reports, is that Google's mobile search exceeds the desktop searches. At least 11.4 billion mobile queries on Google in the US, or more than 20 billion monthly queries overall. And that's when it tells you that Google has 90% of the US mobile search market. Okay, so we're looking at mobile searches exceeding the 11.4 for Google that are happening on the desktop. So if they're exceeding, that means that together Google desktop plus Google mobile searches, you're looking at, like they said, over 20 billion monthly queries happening on Google. So you can look at that amount. It also tells you, very point forward, like, what else you need to do. If you have clients that are still antiquated, living in the dinosaur age with no mobile conversion website or no responsive web design, I mean, they're falling behind, and they're falling behind quickly, because the mobile updates happened really as of April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, 6 months, in October, 6 months since this happened, and the searches just continue to rise. So people got to get on with responsive web design. Businesses got to move on, right? So I wanted to share this with you just to kind of give you a little bit of the outlook of what's happening overall in just less than a year. Mobile searches pretty much on Google, just looking at Google, because that's what we can track right now. That's what they provided to us. Just looking at Google's mobile searches already exceeded desktop in less than over a year. So, and this is just the U.S. It'll be interesting to find out, the rest of North America, Latin America, which they have more mobiles than cars, I think, or something like that. Was the statistic that I was reading. There's people out there that have 3 mobiles for themselves. So imagine all the searches that are happening. Anyhow, something to share with your prospects as you are kind of educating them about the potential also for advertising as well, because those are 20 billion searches that are happening monthly. Eyeballs, connections with people, contact points, anything that you want to call it. There is that opportunity. So just wanted to share that with you this morning. I thought that was very interesting because I was a little bit thrown aback that I knew that mobile searches were growing. I mean, but I didn't know that overall they exceeded desktop already in the U.S. And I have some more stats that I will be sharing with you throughout the presentation. But anyways, great point of to start off, and something that you can share with your prospects, with your existing clients, people that you want to, business owners that you're still kind of trying to convert into responsive, as well as prospects that still don't believe on mobile advertising, right? or let alone standard paid campaigns or SEO. I mean, we're looking at the potential here. 20 billion monthly queries, and that's just Google alone. So big number, and that's in the U.S. Amalia, I think you wanted to share something in regards to paid media campaigns. There was an interesting report.
That's right.
I actually added a link here, and from time to time, I think we're going to be sharing these reports. Some of these things have been vetted by our team. And Amalia, go ahead. You can
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about
Okay.
this one.
Yes, I want to share this. It was an article I clearly came across. It's called Marketer's Guide to Enterprise Paid Media Campaign Management Platforms. So it says, do you need a paid media campaign management platform? Basically, paid search, mobile display, banner ads, social media advertising lead an expanding group of paid media that are now being managed by paid media campaign management platforms. This free 48-page guide from their sister site, Digital Marketing Depot, includes updates on the current trends and issues in paid media campaign management. It outlines the capabilities that these platforms provide and profiles leading vendors. If you're considering licensing a paid media campaign management platform, this guide will help you to decide whether or not you need to. It provides recommended steps for evaluating which solution is best for your business and profiles of leading vendors. So I thought that was great to share. Armando, did you want to add to that? I may have lost Armando here. Armando? Anyways, so I thought that was a great article to look into, and if you want to take experience the site, we've provided a link there, and I believe there's also a video that's provided that you could take a look, and it provides you an option to follow through, and whether you basically would fit this form or not.
Yeah, well,
Armando, are you there? I think I
yeah,
lost you there. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. As I was talking to myself. Basically, this would be great for an IC
Yeah.
who's managing multiple campaigns, who's has been there, who are looking at more enterprise PPC.
Mhm.
Definitely, this is something that you may want to look at. I wouldn't recommend it if you're just doing small PPC campaigns, because this is, the software that they're kind of sharing with yours for enterprise. However, having said that, I doesn't matter. I mean, I'll be. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna share the link here. I still would be downloading this report to see what kind of gold nuggets we can learn from too, right? So that's the only thing that I would recommend. However, the software itself, please do know that although I have spoken about it here, it's not something that we haven't tested it ourselves, but it's something that you can definitely learn more. We did have an IC about 2-3 weeks back that was looking for these type of media campaign management platforms, and I know that within the WSI network we try to stick with what's known out there. I know Quizio is one of those platforms, but again, this is for enterprise. This is not for managing $1,000 or $2,000 budgets. These are for managing larger budgets. So have a look at it, because the good thing about it is that it's gonna have some nice current trends and issues on paid media campaign management. So I've just added the link there for you to review. If you have any questions also and want to learn more about additional types of enterprise or just campaign management, PPC or paid media campaign management platforms, just let us know. And I know that our team would be able to also provide some feedback on what we've either used in the past, we're using today, or we've researched in the past. So I'm pretty sure that Darren and Venetian team can help us with that. So thank you, Amalia, for that, for sharing that with that. And I kind of, like I said, I posted the
Yeah.
the I posted
The link.
the link there. Thank you. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to share with you is something interesting that is coming out already on the Google Search app. So as you know, Google actually is offering. You may or may not have known. Sorry, I want to rephrase that. Google is offering a beta version of their Google Search app, where you can actually test experimental features and give feedback to Google early on. So again, Google spearheading, the whole concept of apps, right? And in this case, they've actually come up with a Google Search app. From what the individuals who have tested it so far, they've shared that it will offer less stable, so it's not going to be as the performance is not going to be as good as, let's say, what we have today in our desktop or mobile, but with more exciting search features so that users can provide feedback to Google before the official stable version of the Google search app is released. Now, one of the things that they're doing is, and they're testing, is something called Google Now features, right? And I believe I kind of touched base on this a few weeks back, and I'm going to kind of go to it in a second. But Google has not officially announced it, but they are displaying what they call a Google Now card. And what Google Card Nows are when you can actually get the right information at just the right time without even searching for it. So, for example, the way you set it up in your search app is you can set up these Google, what they call Google Now cards, right? And these Google Now cards can help you, for example, update you on commute traffic before work, find popular places nearby. And these cards actually just display automatically on your Google search app. So you don't have to search for it. If you set it up and configure it in such a way that you want to, get commute traffic, before going to work, it's going to let you know in advance, right? If you are, traveling to a new city and you want to know some of the interesting areas, it's going to feed you that. Or you can actually, see your favorite team's current score. So, I mean, the current score, there's so many apps out there that offer that. But the cool thing about Google Now cards is that it allows you to get updates ahead of time, and I mean, I would like that commute traffic update before, and it only happens with the Google search app. So I have added two links here. One of them, I'm gonna give me a quick second. I'm just gonna pause this for a second, and one of them is the beta version for this Google app, and it will ask you to do a number of things because right now, again, it's beta. If you're a gadgets person and you enjoy um, looking at new things. That's in reviewing things and giving your feedback. Hey, go right ahead. There's a way for you to be part of this Google search apps, and I believe they only have it right now for Android, if I recall, or I think they have it for iPhone as well. But anyhow, you can definitely go there. And if you want to learn more about this Google Now cards, I mean, I'm also providing you with um, with a link here. And again, these are things that are coming down already from Google, and the Google's already letting users test. How is that important to our business? Well, just to keep in track, right? Like, if you are speaking with a client that's kind of thinking about setting up an app, or they ask you about the Google search app, at least you're pretty much well versed. Now, according to Google, the thesis says, that this is a preview, and that it's a beta program, so it's experimental. So it hasn't been released. There's no date about release of this Google search app or its content or features. But again, if you want to kind of have a look at it, I've added those links. Okay. And it's also good for you to know these things, as you may encounter questions, right, from your clients in regards to what Google's up to. Anyhow, just wanted to share that with you. Amalia, also, I believe you have something to share with us in regards to WASI and Google.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So basically, Google releases WASI version 4.0 for iOS users, and Android is coming soon. So version 4.0 of WASI basically brings a newer, cleaner design, easier navigation, reporting, and sharing with more popular navigation app. WASI, the popular socially focused navigation app acquired by Google in 2013, has released its first major app update since they folded the mapping company into Google. The new features focus on fewer clicks, easier navigation, better battery consumption, and improved reporting and sharing. The new version of WASI 4.0 is currently only available for iOS, but the Android version is reportedly coming very soon. The list of new features include basically significantly reduced battery consumption, fewer taps to start the drive, sending locations and directions, new ETA panel that organizes everything you need in one place. It views reports, it checks alternate routes, adds a stop on the way or instantly send ETA to friends and family. New easier to read map with a cleaner look catered to your drive. a faster, more visual reporting menu that makes it easier to help others on the road, a color-coded reports and alerts so you can instantly recognize them on the map, and a smart reminder to leave on time for your calendar events based on traffic conditions and drive times. So I thought that was really interesting. So anyways, I thought that was great to share, and so that's a new update. So Armando, did you want to add to that as well for
Yeah,
WSI?
yeah, this would be a great tool for ICs, to
Oh,
be on
sure.
time, at their meetings with their clients. So, so yeah, that's interesting. Thank you very much, Amalia. But as you can see, Google has been putting a lot of investment of WASI. I'm not too familiar with WASI myself. I mean, I know that my a friend actually recommended it to me. I don't know how much advertising they're showing there, so it would be interesting to see if there's any and like advertising space there, so you can run it through the Google network, right? So anyhow, interesting the Google Display Network if you it allows you to have some ads on their free version. But anyhow, I'm pretty sure everything has its purpose. So whether you're going to be using it yourself or there's opportunities for advertising. Just want to update you on Google's WASI release. Thank you. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, now moving on to Bing, as a matter of fact, Bing ads are now, remarketing is now available for both search and shopping campaigns. Interestingly enough, they just did it ahead of the holidays, and the fact that right now, with a few weeks to go for Thanksgiving, and then obviously moving into the Christmas season. I can't believe I'm saying that, but believe it or not, it's that time of the year again, and Bing actually announced that the launch of the remarketing for search and shopping campaigns. Now, Bing didn't have remarketing before, and now they do. And uh, uh, based on some of the features or events, is that the promise of Bing Ang's retargeting capabilities came with the launch of what they call the universal event tracking. They actually retool this UET feature to make it more intuitive and to implement and include more functionality. And with that came a remarketing in Bing ads. As a matter of fact, with these remarketing campaigns, you can serve ads on Bing and Yahoo search results. Okay. If the impressions are served through Bing ads, meaning that if your clients originated from Bing ads, came to the website, visited your website, browsed a few pages, and then left, and they're now browsing on Bing and Yahoo, it follows them actually, not just on Bing network, but also on the Yahoo network. So you're kind of getting, a little bit of two for one. Okay. It is very similar to Google's AdWords, but the remarketing extends to product ads in shopping campaigns as well. So Bing Shopping, right? So as a matter of fact, I've added here a YouTube video that very simplifies what Bing ads remarketing is all about. And the image below really tells you a little bit. It's a nice little infographic or semi-infographic that they've shared here about the whole remarketing process with Bing. So again, Bing also being very aggressive in the remarketing battles, I guess, or wars, to make sure that you can retarget, remarket um, your existing visitors or users to your site. So this is good news if you are looking at launching a Bing campaign, or you already have a client that's running Bing AdWords, Bing campaigns, sorry, Bing paid search, sorry, not Bing AdWords, Bing paid search campaigns. Now you have the opportunity to remarket them not only on the search format but also on the on the shopping campaign. So very good. I think that that definitely offers an opportunity for additional advertising as the holidays are coming. And we talked a little bit about that. There's going to be a peak for demand for paid search, and if you are looking, so that means that the price for cost per click is going to go high in some industry, in some verticals, industries, etc. So this is an alternative way of running more efficient, cost effective and efficient campaigns using Bing as an alternative to Google AdWords. So check that out. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna take a you know 5 seconds here to post this. It really works very similar to um, to Google AdWords remarketing. But I thought I'd share this video It's very simple, quickly educational, and if your clients have any questions, you can definitely point them in the right direction with this video. Again, we continue to make note here at ALM that Bing should be an alternative paid search medium for you as well. Okay, so excellent. Um, moving to a recent study that was done by Bright Locals team, they actually just released what they call the local consumer review survey. And one of the key things that's out of this survey that I think the nuggets that we can take away from here is the fact that young consumers read more reviews and are more likely to write reviews. So there are a couple of things that we need to discuss here. Number one is the fact that uh, 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 if your clients still do not believe in reviews and or still on the fence or need to be educated, this is a great survey that you can kind of synthesize or summarize for your client, right? And I'm going to share the link at the end. So that's number one. Many, sometimes as consultants, it's very hard to get clients committed to putting either a reputation management strategy or customer review strategy. And we've talked to them about the different softwares, reputation.com, customer lobby, etc. We told them that they should be doing reviews on Google. But I would tell you that this is an interesting survey that yielded some excellent results. The only thing that I did forget to look at the survey was the data that was what was their baseline numbers of people surveyed. But I know that Local, they really do an awesome job on their survey, so I would imagine it's very, very thorough. So the bottom line, number one, is that will help you educate your clients on the power of encouraging their users, their clients, their customers to writing reviews. Number one, and number two, young consumers, are very, very active. So, A, if their product or service targeting young consumers, they better get on board right away. And number two, those are the young consumers that will be the consumers of the future. So the millennials are being very educated in the way they're using their searching, whether it's mobile or desktop. So this is something that they're already adapting this behavior of leaving reviews. So I'll talk a little bit about it because I have three nice slides on this. I mean, the full report, it's available in Search Engine Land, but if you want the complete report, I would actually recommend that you go to the site. Uh, so I know I have a few questions, and I'll try to answer them as we go along. So based on this survey, one of the key takeaways is that more consumers are now reading reviews as part of their purchase cycle. They are also reading reviews more frequently than in previous years, and they are forming opinions faster. So as you can see, this first graph that I show here, where it shows that 58% of consumers age 18 to 34 search online for a local business at least once per month. So let's start at the top, right? We all know that they are already looking out there for businesses. So this kind of gives you that first snapshot. So I'm going to go to the next slide, which kind of covers the same thing, but based on these key findings of 58% of consumers aged 18 to 34 search online, you can see that this search for online is for a local business. So they are searching for local businesses. 43% of consumers aged 35 to 54 have searched online for a local business at least one time per month, and 26% um, um, uh, of age 55 have searched online for a local business at least one time per month. So when we look at those graphs, we have 58% of ages 18-34, 43% 35 to 54, and 26% of consumers at age 55. You can tell that between the ages of 18 to 54, there is an absolute activity of these consumers definitely looking online. And you can see the graph where you have, for example, if you look at 55 plus here, they even do, they even do, 2 to 5 times a year, I guess, right? In the last 12 months, while you are here where you're 24% up here. Look at this number here. Every week, millennials are looking at local businesses online at least once a week, and then 21% of them are looking at almost every day. So this is a new generation, new adapting new behaviors of searching. Consumers age 55 are the least likely to search for local businesses online, although 86% of them have done so. Okay, only 26% of them do it on a monthly basis. So very, very, they're still adapting to this. And obviously, it's something that the generation, right? It's something that's a new behavior for them. However, as I mentioned, younger consumers, while they live on mobile and all that time that you see them what they're doing on their mobile, some of that time is allocated to looking for online businesses. 58% of those aged 18 to 34 have at least once per month over the past year, and 43% between ages 35 to 54 have searched for online for a local business at least once a month. Bottom line here is people are looking online for a local business. Okay, so that's something you can share with your clients. If they're still not converted, well, this is just simple numbers. Now, when we move forward, then we talk about those individuals that are going online looking for a local business, searching for a local business, sorry, and then reading online customer reviews, right? To determine whether a local business is a good business, right? So here you can see that 89% of consumers 18 to 34 trust reviews versus 69% age 59, 55. So obviously, the wiser they are, the more they take their time in reading reviews and making their own opinions. While the popular age of 18 to 34, they'll believe what 89% of them will believe whether it's right or wrong, right? So some of the key findings in this one is that 97% of consumers age 18 to 34 read local reviews online. So this is the biggest number. This is the future. These are the millennials. 91% of them, 35 to 54, also read local business online. So just looking at the ages between 18 to 54, they tell you that they are reading local business reviews. Okay, and even the 55 plus, they have an 86%. So bottom line is that the reach of online reviews extend broadly to consumers of all ages. However, younger consumers in particular are the more active readers. Okay, so if you have no reviews on your website, if you have no review or on Google Plus, etc., hey, listen, like, they're missing the boat. There's something happening here that they're not taking advantage of, right? 41% of consumers aged 18 to 34 regularly read online reviews versus 29% of those aged 34 to 54 and 25% of those aged 55. So um, pretty much the numbers are there. You can definitely see that there is a good group that it's always looking at reviews. And just looking at this, again, the millennials, 18 to 34, 41% of them are reading reviews regularly. Just tells you a lot, right? So again, the power of having reviews on your website, whether it be through a third-party tool like Reputation.com or Customer Lobby, or just the simple fact of having reviews on your Google Plus, right? Having feedback, just powerful. Okay. And that's just going to increase. That number will just increase. I mean, you can see it already. I mean, this number is just going to be increasing. So it's not like we're going backwards. So it's here to stay. And another interesting fact that I saw here was that when they were asked the questions, do you read online consumer reviews to determine whether a local business is a good business? The other thing that was interesting was that um, you know what? That 95% of consumers 18 to 34, I wanted to share with you what the trust reviews were, right? And I think I probably missed this, the graph that I wanted to share with you. But if you look at the key findings, 89% of consumers aged 18 to 34 trust reviews versus 69% of consumers aged 55. 31% of consumers age 55 plus do not trust reviews as much as personal recommendations. So if you do have a client whose product or service targets this market, maybe reviews is not as important to them. Maybe more personal recommendations, right? So that's referrals, right? So that specific business should have a very strong referral program, right? And maybe they shouldn't focus a lot on business reviews because their target audience or demographic 55 plus. However, the other side, again, the importance of outright trust of online reviews is low among all age groups. uh, Even though obviously that whole trust factor is definitely important, and as these consumers are reviewing them and forming their own opinion, the younger the consumer, the more likely they are to trust a review. Okay, comes with experience, right? And the other side, 55 plus have the lowest trust in online reviews. However, one of the findings that was established is if authenticity is established, then a third of these consumers are very willing to trust online reviews. So if your client is doing a proper online customer review program on their website, on their overall business, and it's a very authentic, meaning that it has a mix of pluses and negatives, pros and cons, good and bad reviews. And if the reader or the consumer is able to identify that these reviews are authentic because they're real, they're not bogus, right? Then they're one third of these then third of these consumers are very willing to trust online reviews. So again, just place it. One quick second as I kind of move here. I'm going to actually show you. Let me see. Uh, some of the interesting factors, and you can actually get this. I'm going to actually share the link in a second. Uh, because it's very interesting that sometimes, I know it gets very frustrating when you're talking to your client about reviews and the fact that they should be focusing on reviews and they're not doing it. And so hopefully this survey, I'm sharing my screen now, hopefully this survey will definitely give them that. So I'm going to go back because I know that I missed this one specific. See, this is the one that I wanted to share with you in regards to trusting online customer reviews as much as personal recommendations. Uh, you know, so what do they trust more? An online review versus a personal recommendation slash referral, for example. Well, if you look at this, 18 to 34, they actually are true believers, of reviews, if they're authentic. Whereas again, 55, 55, they wouldn't. They'd be focusing more on personal recommendations, right? And then you have your always demographic here. They believe everything, right? So you can see that these three areas here are growing. So again, if you're able to identify that these reviews are legitimate and authentic, meaning that you do have a proper program. It's not a bogus program. You're not buying reviews. You're not, getting fake reviews on your Google Plus or your website, but real reviews. It definitely helps you. Now, here's another interesting factor that I wanted to share with you, but I didn't have the time and space to put it in. And this is the fact that 62% of young consumers have read reviews on a mobile device. Okay, so a lot of this is happening on the go, right? And interestingly enough, I'm actually was looking for new furniture over the weekend, and I went through a couple of furniture stores here in Toronto, and we went through 2 3 stores, and the first thing that I told my wife was, she had already done her research online. Again, typical consumer, right? So we went to 3 stores, and the first thing that I did was, okay, can you please check the reviews on this place, right, online? So again, it was just a practical thing that I did by nature, right? And if I'm doing this, and I'm not young enough, I'm almost, I'm not in the 34, 18 to 34 range. Look at this one: 62% of young consumers are read reviews on a mobile device. So it definitely tells you that they're very active. So here also it shows you that which of the following devices methods have you used to read reviews for a local business in the last 12 months? Obviously, PC seems to be very, very strong for older, right? 55 plus, the 35 to 54. So that's me. I fall in this category here. 75%. I still use a desktop or a laptop, right? Mobile, here's at 62%. You know, uh, this is growing, right? This 35 to 54. And you can see that, for the most part, 55 plus are usually doing desktop. There is also another adaptive behavior from younger consumers to use mobile apps, right? Such as Yelp and TripAdvisor apps, right? They're very heavy users of apps, as well as the tablet, right? So very interesting, very interesting numbers and very interesting report for you to kind of review and definitely to get some nice little takeaways, and you can actually share this in your presentations. A lot of the time, we share this for you, so you can actually have some takeaways, not only just get educated, but you know what, you can show these on your presentations, right? These are good facts. So let me just share um, the link there, and I'm actually going to share the actual Bright Local consumer survey, so you have both. You'll have the one on Search Engine Land, which is a great article, pretty much summarizes everything. But if you're more into numbers and you want to kind of dive deeper, deeper waters and want to get the numbers, hey, here, I just shared it with you on Buy Local. So anyhow, definitely wanted to share this interesting survey for you. Definitely a lot of good knowledge there, and from a sales perspective, educational perspective, it gives you a lot to think about and also to share with your prospects. Excellent. Moving forward, like I said, today's webinar was going to be a very short webinar. I wanted to let you know that next week we're going to have Mr. Michael Kendrian, CEO of the CRM Expert. He's going to be joining us next Tuesday. He's going to be a guest speaker. We're going to be talking a little bit about, you know, the solutions that are appropriate for small to mid-sized businesses, right? When it comes to CRMs. Okay. There's a lot of CRM solutions out there. I know some ICs are testing things out, trying things out. So, we want to ask him, what are the best business practices in reviewing CRM solutions, and what should consultants be doing when providing their feedback, recommendations, or even sourcing some of this information for their end clients. So it's going to be very informational. He'll probably be talking a little bit about his CRM, but it's going to be more informational than anything. That's the purpose of these guest speakers who coming in here. They're part of the network, so they've been vetted by head office, and we're going to start with a CRM expert. Next month, we're going to be having already looking at the date, but it will be John McKenzie from I think the name of the company is called Integrity Leads, right? I know some of the ICs are always asking us about lead generation. He's going to be talking a little bit about that. But for next week, Michael will be with us. As we look into 2016 and your clients are coming up with new budgets, new ways of improving performance in their business, you know what? CRM solutions, marketing automation are the way to go. So he'll be talking a little bit about some of the things that we should be reviewing or recommending to our clients. So again, he'll be here next week. Amalia, I'm hoping that you're still there, and you wanted to wrap it up very quickly. Um, any
Yes, yeah. So I just want to quickly remind everybody that, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, so I just quickly want to remind everybody, we're still having our monthly promotion. Just to remind everybody, we are still offering the Blueprint video that we premiered at the Global Convention for $199. Please contact either myself, Michelle, or Armando if you are interested in that. We do customize it to, have your video with your logo and contact information. Also, we are offering the SEO, local and foundational SEO campaign where we offer the free setup, and this includes also the ASEO Bronze. So if you have any questions, please reach out to myself, Michelle, or Armando. We'd love to help you.
Yeah, just on the video, on the ALM video, definitely we've been getting a lot of requests from the IC. So if you're interested, definitely can be personalized. And I know that if you have any questions, Amalia, myself, or Michelle can assist you. We do have some ICs that already have. If you want to see how it looks with an IC's contact information towards the end, definitely use it. It's a great video, very educational. It could be a great lead nurturing item or deliverable that you can kind of send to your clients for them to review and follow up on. So again, I wanted to share that with you as well. So thank you for joining us. Again, next week we'll have a guest speaker. Hopefully you can also tell any ICs that are your buddies uh, the buddy. We'll use the buddy system, referral system, and we look forward to having you here. There was one question. Sorry, I think there was one question that I had. I don't have the answer, so I will address it. Fernando Cervantes. I do want to, Fernando. I do want to acknowledge that. And the question was in regards to solutions for reputation or online reviews in Latin America. So Amalia, can you please take a, or Michelle, can you please take a note of that? Fernando, I will get back to you definitely on that so we can answer that question. That was the only question that we had this week. Look forward to next week. But Fernando, will get back to you via email because I don't have the answer in front with me right now. Thank you again very much, and we will be in touch. Have yourself a great week, and next week again, same time. Take care. Bye bye.